Hopefully they're on.
Cool.
Hey, chat, let us know if you can't hear us and we're just smiling and staring at a camera for no real reason, because that does happen to us.
I'm falling apart.
Don't do that.
That happens too.
My pants are falling down.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you dressed up for the stream, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are...
This is my, this is what I wear to work every day.
I feel that.
Welcome to the pandemic.
This is the special pandemic episode of Meeple Skills, the only podcast that's not a podcast.
Exactly.
Yep.
Welcome to Meeple Skills. Thank you all for joining us. Yeah, I know it's been a while. It's been a while since we've streamed. It's been a while since we've released a podcast, and that's because things were weird.
Life has been garbage, you know.
Yeah,
Just the
usual.
usual.
We also have decided to play with the format a little bit. We're going to change up how things work a little bit. For one thing, mostly me, I don't know if my companions here agree with me or not, but I kind of got to thinking that a board game podcast that is only available on audio seems a little weird. And so we're going to be doing some more movie content. Not movie. Movie would be long. Video. We're going to do video content.
One of them, their fancy moving pictures.
Yeah, we're going to do the thing where the people move on the screen.
One
and
of them talkies.
Like them talkies. I like that. Talkies.
Yes.
Great.
So we're going to have videos uploaded to YouTube on hopefully a regular basis. And then upon occasion, we will be gracing you, the viewers, with our presence on the Twitch channel.
Ooh, there's presents?
No.
Oh.
I'm disappointed.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Same.
Turns out I actually lured Alyssa here with promise of gifts.
Presents.
Surprise.
Yeah, presents. Is it Quimus?
Not Quitmas yet.
Is it
Almost.
Krampus?
I hope
Almost.
not.
Okay. We're almost there.
Nice.
But yes,
Nice.
so this is our October episode, our first talkie, as Ethan likes to call it now. And
God, since when? Well, when was the last time we did one?
Is it
August?
it was August.
So we really only skipped September.
Yeah, it really hasn't been horrible.
Yeah,
Could be
so
worse.
y'all spoiled.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, a month in internet time is like 10 years.
That's true. We've been forgotten about.
Right.
Yeah.
We're old,
We're
old news.
ancient.
People are
now.
probably like, what's this new thing that Project Nerd is doing?
It's the first episode of Meeple Skills.
We've totally never done this before.
Never. First time. It's great.
Oh yeah, welcome to my basement, by the way.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can see our lovely walls.
We'll do something about that at some
Eventually.
point. Meh.
Not
What
my
are you
basement.
talking about today, darling?
So I would like to name this
Oh, and here we
episode.
are.
Here's our dog. She's
Come here, pup.
the main character actually in this story.
That's true.
Here
She's
we
our
go.
mascot.
She is.
There you go.
Oh, I need to take
No,
off that
don't.
collar so that she doesn't jingle into the
whole time.
mics. Because she will be walking around here. There we go. Lack of jingle. Stealth has increased by at least a +2.
We're gonna have to blur this out in post production because she's naked.
Yeah. You're naked, dude. Hi. Can you... Thanks.
But yes, I
friend.
have lovingly
Yes.
titled this episode.
I love you, Afro. There you go. Okay, we're good. She's just excited. I'm sorry.
She does. She loves Alyssa a lot.
Such a treat.
Yes.
Okay, goodbye.
So I have lovingly named this episode the Pumpkin Spice episode, as we go through games that we like to play in the fall. And Alyssa totally approved of this name before I said it just
I mean,
now.
I saw the
This
notes.
This was not run past committee. Wait, there are notes for this episode?
There are notes for this episode.
I didn't get any notification.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm pretty sure I shared it with you.
I don't doubt that at all, but it wasn't in my... When did you do that?
I started on these notes 2 weeks ago, and I've been adding to them just about every other day
And
since
you
then.
shared them 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
That would be why I didn't see them.
I was probably sitting at my desk not doing anything, to be honest. That's probably why I saw it. Be real.
Well, I'm glad that someone saw them. You
Yeah,
know,
I
'cause
did.
one of
I
us-
prepared for this episode.
as we can tell by your outfit.
I mean, plaid is fall
Plaid is
Exactly.
fall, and it is warm.
Uh-huh.
because it's freezing now.
It is cold. By the way, go pull the heater over here. Why did you
Wow.
leave the heater so far away?
Because we're busy.
Fine.
Podcast time.
Podcast time. So welcome again to the Meeple Skills Podcast. I am Jackie, or the Lucky Halfling. This is Alyssa.
Minty fresh.
Yeah. And over here, who will be back soon because I sent him away to get the heater, is Ethan, also known as Nerd Meat, and you can follow him on
That
Twitch
was
as well.
Almost sketchy.
Almost sketchy. He almost knocked down a bunch of our lights. I know it doesn't look like much, but this is actually a very high-tech setup. Nobody turn the camera around the other way. Okay.
I don't know anything about it, so it's pretty high tech to me.
Parts of it. Just also, no backdrop. But anyway. So yeah, today we're going to talk about our favorite fall games. And I thought we would get the conversation started with a game that I know we've all played.
Can I just say what my favorite fall game is?
Sure.
Jenga.
Because it falls. Got her.
Autumn. Autumnal games.
Oh.
I feel like
Autumnal
Jackie earned
equinox.
that by all of her other bad jokes.
Exactly.
I feel like Jackie's
My
earned
bad jokes are good bad jokes, though.
that.
Yeah, so
debatable.
was that one.
That one was pretty good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Somebody appreciates my humor
You're welcome.
No one
and my
appreciates-
outfit.
Chat, do you appreciate his outfit? Let me know. Anyway, so I figured we'd start with Betrayal. Because I think everybody who's watching has probably already played Betrayal at House on the Hill. But one of the reasons I figured it's okay to bring it up in yet another episode, if you listen to the past rendition of Meeple Skills, you will notice that I talk about Betrayal at House on the Hill quite a bit. But
General Pillage likes my outfit.
Ooh, got her.
anyway, but Betrayal at House on the Hill has a lot of different renditions. So there's the original. There's also Betrayal Legacy, which is the legacy game that we aren't quite finished with yet.
Someday we'll finish it.
We need to get back into that.
Yep.
And then there's also Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, which is like a D&D version of it.
Sounds weird.
And then there is the newest rendition, which I'm actually going to run over and grab here very quick. And that is Betrayal Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion.
I want to play that. You've had that game. Why haven't we played it?
Because you've been busy and avoiding me.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, but if you
know where
had
I
been,
live.
that's why. But so yeah, we did play Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion with Jackie's parents.
Did. So here we go. Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. The excitement.
Yeah.
I'd be more excited if Jackie had played it with me.
Ooh, there's still time.
It's fine.
There's still time.
No, we'll definitely play it though, I promise.
We
We'll have
better.
a game day soon.
God dang it.
I know, because you need to bring over
I mean,
Root
we've
also.
already.
Yeah, Root's in my car. It's in my trunk. It's been in my trunk.
Whole time.
Since we tried to play it that one time at 11 o'clock and we saw that there were 3 rule books and we're like, maybe not.
Maybe not
another
tonight.
time.
Mm-mm.
Maybe not starting that at 11 o'clock.
Yeah. So, but yes, Betrayal, Scooby-Doo Betrayal. So I'm very excited. This was a really good game. We played it with my parents, as Ethan said, and one of the things that was super awesome about this is it is a super simplified version of Betrayal.
It's
Oh.
for kids.
It is for kids.
Oh, it's the kids. It's the kids
It's
version.
sorta.
Kids
I
version.
kind of like that though. That's great.
One of
Or
the
Scooby-Doo
advantages-
fans.
That too.
Right.
And one of the advantages to that is you don't die, which makes a lot of sense, because why would you kill parts of Mystery Inc.? Like, people would be upset.
Yo, what if just in one situation Shaggy just gets like murdered?
Oh god. That'd be a really, really, really dark episode of Scooby-Doo.
That's, no.
Can we combine the two?
That's
Yes.
the creepypasta Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I want to combine both games.
Yes.
Creepypasta Scooby-Doo.
I don't think it would work. But yeah, the game itself is simplified
Play it
overall.
live.
Yeah, we should
We
play
should
it live.
do that.
We could do that. We have the technology.
We could.
But no, it's a super simplified version of it. I really liked it. So like, even the point where the tiles are, you have inside and outside,
And it's labeled on the table. Yeah.
and
makes
that's
it
Okay.
it. So you don't have like the
Upstairs,
upstairs,
downstairs,
yeah.
hallways, all those secret
Right.
passages, all those
So
shenanigans.
it's just inside, outside,
Yep.
That's not too bad.
and then
Helps. And you don't die, like I was saying. You just get knocked out and you lose a turn. So, a lot less salt-inducing there.
Debatable. Depending on the age of the people you're playing with. What do you mean I
Yeah,
don't get to
that's
go? Well, sorry,
die.
Timmy. You died. Get better.
yeah.
You ran out of mental stats.
yeah.
Try
Obviously.
again.
Fred got stupid.
You got to think about. You need to think about what happened, and then
Yeah,
you can play next turn.
But no, I liked how more simplified it was, and even I liked just some of the flavor choices they made.
Mhm.
There's also a mechanic in the game for Scooby snacks.
I love that.
And you can.
They allow you to re-roll dice.
Yeah.
That's lit.
Yeah. And so you can hoard all the Scooby snacks.
Pro strat tip: use those Scooby snacks because you get them all the time. So don't hoard the Scooby snacks. Just play them because
Well, you
you'll
could
get
hoard
them
them
back.
too. Because
I would.
You could just use all of them.
I would.
But that's because
You could be like, oh, all of my rolls were terrible. Bloop, 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 bloop.
But anyway, so yeah, it was super. It's a lot shorter than the original Betrayal as well. Average game here is going to be 30 to 45 minutes. Those of you who've played a lot of Betrayal at House on the Hill know that 45 minutes is usually the lower end of those games. I've had some that have lasted almost 2 hours. That's unusual. But we have had weird situations where the dice rolls just were never matching the omens right, and it just kept going.
You're just like, all right, what's going on? Hello?
Which reminds me, the other thing that's really nice about this game, and one of the things they probably did because it's meant to be played with children, is you kind of, in most of the setups, you get to pick who the betrayer is. So, and something will happen that will cause the haunt, and you'll start the haunt roll, and usually whoever ends up being the betrayer, their character goes and hides in the closet, and that's why Scooby isn't actually the bad guy. So then that person plays as Old Man Jenkins that actually is doing the counterfeiting.
Okay, that's weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it's actually really nice, though, because, again, especially for kids, you don't have Scooby-Doo growing maggots out of his eyes and then,
Yeah,
devouring the rest of the team.
that's fair.
But
That is the officially licensed sound for Scooby Snacks.
I don't remember.
By General Pillage.
Yeah, I don't remember what the sound was.
I don't remember either, but I'm sure it was funny.
Anyway, but yeah, so it works out pretty well because then you, again, don't have the sort of now Jimmy has to be the bad guy, and Jimmy doesn't want to be the bad guy.
Right.
I want to be Scooby.
Right.
And so Dad, who's playing Fred, can just be like, all right, Fred's going to hide in a closet, and I'm going to play as the bad guy. So Jimmy doesn't have to.
That makes more sense.
And then also, if you're playing with kids who maybe don't have strong reading comprehension, who have to read how to win the game.
Right. It makes total
then you
sense.
can have mom or dad or uncle, whoever.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. That was the sound, apparently, of the Scooby Snacks. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure you made that sound.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah. Anyway.
Neat.
Bloop.
But, yeah, and the other reason I really like it is I honestly think that, I mean, Betrayal at House on the Hill is one of the great games to kind of introduce people to the hobby and kind of trick them into becoming obsessed with board games. And this is an even
Thanks, General
better
Pillage.
way. Thanks, General Pillage. And I believe this one's an even better way to trick people into getting into the board gaming hobby because, once again, you can pick who the betrayer is. So if you unlock it, you could just pick someone, and then the person who has never played a board game or hasn't played a board game since Candyland, they don't have to try to figure out how to win the game.
Right.
Because for people who haven't played games a lot, it can sometimes be really daunting to look at a whole, 2 pages of text and figure out what you're supposed to be doing.
Right, especially when the people who have probably played the game that you're playing with aren't supposed to see the text, but you have no clue what the hell's going on. Because you're like, but it says this, but then it also says sometimes this, and then maybe this.
Mm-hmm.
But only if these things are in play.
Yeah, especially for people who aren't gaming minded.
Right.
That stuff's really difficult. So, I've learned that, ever since trying and learning how to play Magic specifically because of how they write their rules on the cards, you have to be exposed to the rules.
Right.
So there's no just oh yeah, this is just how you play. No, the cards do what they say they do, so you have to read them and know what that language means in order to play the game. And so reading a rule book then is a lot easier because you can interpret it easier and say, this means that. And
Right.
only that.
Right.
If it doesn't say that, that's not what it means. And this game, I think, simplifies it enough where you can just say, okay, so we're going to take these cards, do this thing, and here we go, and then you move, and then we have a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah. I love how much it is streamlined. I also think that they took some of the better points that I liked from Betrayal Legacy to streamline it. Because that's one thing I noticed about the Legacy game is that because you're building on the story, it feels to me like the rules are a lot more streamlined. Like this leads to this and it builds on this, and so it's easier to learn that way. And I think they took some of that and some of that language to really help this one. Will
Makes
you
sense.
stop thinking how cute our dog is?
She's so cute.
You're just distracting.
Yeah, she's
Aphrodite,
great.
you're distracting.
Yes.
She's great.
She is great, but she's also distracting.
Yes. So that's Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. Did we want to do our usual
Yeah.
scale thing?
Yeah. So I know Alyssa hasn't gotten to play it yet,
Nope.
but that will
Salt.
soon be rendered. Let us know in
Rendered?
the chat. Rectified. We're gonna have that rectified.
Rectified, damn near killified.
But
Oh goodness.
anyway.
No more beer before podcast.
Yeah, no more beer before podcast. But if you want a good beer here in Kansas City for this unsponsored thing, go to Apex Ale Works. Apex Ale Works, they've got beer.
They are not sponsoring this at all.
They are not sponsoring this,
That's
but
really good though.
Thank you.
they could if they wanted to. I really like your beer. You can send us free beer. That's a sponsorship, right? Anyway,
Well, better luck on my Twitch channel for that, because Ben actually subs to the channel.
dang it. Okay. Anyway, I will give this game a. I'm actually going to give it a 10 on the like it
10
scale.
out of 10.
Yeah.
Bam, 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 bam. I don't want to walk over and do my sound effects.
That's
It's
fine.
too
That's
far
fair.
away.
No, you're good.
And
I don't like
I'm-
my hand anymore. Keeps grabbing my hand.
And I'm going to give it just like a 2 on the saltiness scale, just because, as Alyssa said, losing a turn could cause some salt. In my opinion, it causes less salt than just outright dying and being out of the game. Yeah, the main thing is that, and it is still Betrayal at House on the Hill, so it can be very unbalanced. It can be very one-sided.
Yup.
I feel like this one is more one-sided towards the players, though.
Well, if it's designed for children, then probably.
Yeah, and also you don't want Mystery Inc. to lose. That would be lame.
No, they deserve to lose every once in a while.
That would actually be the worst episode of Scooby-Doo.
It would.
No, they need
Because
some humble
Fred
pie.
is a misunderstood hunky genius,
They do a lot of
just like me.
They do a lot of B&Es. A lot of B&Es.
Well,
Break and enter.
Oh, they
Yeah.
do a lot
They
of
do-
B&Es.
They do a lot of
no,
B&Es.
'cause they're abandoned. It doesn't
They're
count.
abandoned.
It doesn't count. It's an abandoned amusement park.
It clearly wasn't abandoned because that's where the counterfeiters were.
Exactly.
Right.
What if the counterfeiters were the ones who had owned the abandoned amusement park?
Well, then why don't they just open the amusement park and make money that way?
Because they're too expensive to maintain and
They're
run.
so expensive to
jeez.
maintain and
Okay,
run.
Right.
Fine. Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's pretty good. I love Scooby-Doo. It's one of my favoriteest cartoons in the whole wide world. I should get a Scooby-Doo tattoo. I'm not going to, but I could. Yeah, it's a solid game. I like Betrayal, so
General Pillage says, amusement park in this economy?
exactly.
There you go.
Accurate,
Perfect
though.
time to not have one. It's the perfect time to open up your illegal business in a counter or in a
Abandoned
closed
amusement
down
park.
Yeah, nobody's going to come around. They're like, I don't
You
want
don't
COVID.
even have to haunt it. Like, just no one's going to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
All you have to do is be like, there are people with COVID here, and people would be like, oh no!
Our lawyers are telling us that we have to say we do not condone.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't actually, please. And if
Don't
you
do that,
don't
please.
tell them that you heard it here first.
Yeah, leave us out of it.
Yeah, don't do that.
And then on saltiness, yeah, it's like there's like no saltiness in this game. Other than just me in general being a salty person. I was actually the bad guy in our playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And I just rolled like crap.
He did. It was amazing.
Weighted dice.
Yeah, like one time I stood near Will Wheaton at a convention, and I think just ever since
It's just
I've
been
had
awful.
the Will Wheaton effect.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. But yeah, I just rolled like crap, and I would had my rolls been successful more frequently,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been tough for them to win.
Right. But
that wasn't the case.
But when you
Rolled
roll
so many blank dice.
Yeah.
When
So
you roll
many.
poop, you can't do nothing.
Statistically impossible.
Not
Yep.
even ones, just a 0.
Yep.
Rolled zeros.
Which, I don't know. Okay, who decided to put zeros on dice? I'm not a fan, but
I feel
whatever.
that.
They are weird dice.
Mathematics.
Mathematical.
But we'll definitely play it with you and player 3.
Sick.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah.
All right. So next on my list is one that I believe we have all played. Maybe not Ethan, not entirely sure. Is Everdell.
I have
Yeah, I
not
play
played
that game.
Oh,
It's
well,
pretty
you should have
lit.
because it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Well.
Next game night, that's what we'll do.
Okay, sounds good.
But yeah, Everdell is, and this is kind of so rather than looking at fall as being the spooky season, Everdell is more of like, fall is a beautiful season. And it's one of those games where you go through each season. So there's 4 rounds of play, or sections of play, I should say.
Yup.
So you play through spring, summer, fall, and winter. And it's just this absolutely gorgeous game. There's an actual tree, like a 3D tree that gets
Yup.
built out of it.
Yup.
The cards and the art is all just gorgeous. You've got these adorable little woodland creatures that roam around and are doing stuff, and you're building their little woodland habitat, except for they're personified, so they're like actually little villages and not just, mouse holes. And so cute.
It's pretty cute. It's pretty cute. I enjoyed it.
It is the perfect thing to have with a pumpkin spice latte.
Debatable.
Debatable. What would you drink with it? Drink while playing
Anything
this game.
but a pumpkin spice latte.
What is your fall drink of choice?
I don't have a fall drink of choice.
You should get one. So I'll
Apple
suggest
cider?
some for you. Apple cider.
Oh, I just drink what's there.
Just
Okay, apple cider.
Just agree to the apple cider.
Hot toddies, does that count?
yeah.
There
it
you go.
does.
Everdell, the perfect game to play while drinking a hot toddy.
Hot toddy was.
But don't spill it on the game.
Was my nickname in high school.
I don't
No, it
believe
wasn't.
that. I don't believe that at all.
Lie.
Damn it. Nice try, though. Yeah, nice try. I don't drink pumpkin spice lattes. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
That's too much sugar. I'll die.
And Everdell came out in 2019, so it hasn't had as much time to build up the same kind of hype as Betrayal.
Right.
I think it has 1 expansion now. I do not own that expansion. I do have a friend who has the collector's version of Everdell, and it's even more gorgeous. Like, the gold coins legitimately clink, and I love that they're actual, like, metal gold coins that make clinking noises. So,
It's the little things.
it is totally worth it to shell out the money for the collector's edition if you come across it. Just thought I'd let you know. So, Alyssa, on the like it and salt scales, what you thinking?
I'd say 8 for like it. I would say salt. I could see this ranging anywhere from 2 to 5. And that's completely depending on the luck on the cards. Because there's a lot of like, well, nobody wants this stuff. I don't want this stuff. Can we pull something better? Or the stuff that you pull, you're like, I don't want this. I'm doing something specific right now, and I don't need this. Please stop pulling when I draw you. Please stop. And then, or it's just resource issues, which is every, like, gathering type game is, oh, I need these resources. Well, that would be sick if 2 other people didn't go before me and hog them all.
Catan.
Accurate. At least this is cute, though,
Yeah.
and not as long.
Yeah.
I feel like Catan takes like 5 years away from my life every time I play it.
But this... Good grief.
It's just so I hate it. We're never gonna get sponsored by them. Oh,
No,
bless. That's fine. I'm okay with it.
But the good news is, but like Everdell can take a really long time too,
Yeah.
because, and that's the thing, why I would put it as probably about a 6 on the saltiness scale, because along with what you were saying, that it is possible to just legit never get the cards you need. Like,
Right.
you can have your little goal that you're supposed to have, and you can have kind of a setup for a certain like flow into points,
Mm-hmm.
and it just never works out because you never get the cards that you want. And obviously you can have a good strategy that hopefully will negate that, but sometimes it's just going to suck. And I remember one time in particular when I was playing with General Pillage, and we were going along, and literally he would take all the good cards, good cards would come out on his turn, he'd pick them all up, and everything would be replaced with junk by the time I played. And we got to the point where he was having turns that took 10 to 15 minutes, because in this game you get to keep playing your turn
Right.
until you're out of actions.
Mm-hmm.
And his turns are taking like 10 to 15 minutes as everything triggers and triggers and triggers, and he just gets to keep going. And I'm sitting here like, I'd take a berry, I'd take a stone, and now it's fall.
Yeah.
Like,
I also love how all of these stories seem to involve General Pillage.
yeah,
Well,
there's a common theme there.
fortunately for us, or maybe unfortunately for him, I'm not sure, living with us has its perks.
Is that beating Jackie at board games?
Yep.
General Pillage just said, be better.
I will also say
He right, though.
the
He
berries in that game have an incredibly pleasing texture to touch.
I know, right?
It's
They're
hard.
squishy, but
Yeah,
Is that in the
rubbery.
collector's
No,
edition
that's
too?
just all of
they're
them.
just like this, like weirdly like not firm but not firm silicone, but they're not sticky. So it's like you can just like mess with them, and it's like it's very tactily satisfying.
There's a very real chance I eat those.
I don't.
This
I don't know about that. They're pretty small.
It's satisfying. Like, even because the stones
Just all of them at once.
are actually very smooth and round.
Yes, they are.
and the wood is made out of actual, like, little wood
The
feeling
little,
pieces.
yeah, the little bits.
So it is very tactile, satisfying. And by the way, I give it an 8 on the like it scale.
Sick.
I love it for all the reasons listed. Hate it because General Pillage is better at it than me.
Get
Not
good.
like most games.
I know, but also
Get good, scrub.
the same thing where a turn can take forever. If a person is really good at the game, then the other person is not.
Yep.
It just feels bad, okay?
Yeah,
It
it's
just feels
almost worse than Catan on the now that you reminded me of the turn order basically being you take your turn as long as you need to, because everybody takes their turns and not takes it once, but
You get it at least once before you hit the end of the season.
Right.
Because the seasons end after you have collected
all your
people for that season.
Right.
And so once you can't take any more actions,
you have to collect your boy.
collect your boys, and then you go on to the next season.
Right. So that I could see that being salt inducing when you're like that 15-minute turn while you're just like, well, I got my berries and I got my rock. All right, I guess I'm ready for winter. Hope we all don't starve.
And I think
Whoops.
the very first time I ever played this game, actually, I was in winter, and General Pillage was still in summer. Like, he finished up summer, and I went into winter. So this game can also end at different times for people, which is another reason I downgrade it on the like it scale.
Time travel.
Because,
Time travel.
that for me is a big thing of whether or not I usually will buy a game, is I prefer games that end at the same time for everyone. Just because I feel like it keeps everything more uniform. So this is one of those that does not, but also neither does Betrayal at House on the Hill always. So
Nope.
yeah, just some FYI.
What's our next game?
Our next game is Alyssa. Did you ever play Photosynthesis with me?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it a fall game though.
It also
Yeah,
has
but-
a fall.
It does have a fall,
Yeah,
Yep.
and half the game is fall colors.
but also isn't the emphasis growing trees?
Yeah, don't treat. Oh,
But some
trees
of the-
die in the fall. You do
Yeah.
cut them down. You go
But also,
But some trees are yellow.
they are. But that's also life. Some trees are yellow. Some
That's
trees are
what
orange.
I picked this one.
You pick this one?
Yeah, because some of the trees are yellow.
I disagree with your choice.
All trees. Fall has trees. Trees are there, and then it's a tree game.
Show
And I
enough.
like it.
I mean, I like photosynthesis too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's
Yeah.
sunny and
I
fun.
like to describe it as growing wood and throwing shade.
All right,
No.
well, that'll do it for today's episode.
Yep. See ya.
No.
You made that joke when we talked about photosynthesis on the podcast, I'm pretty sure.
Well, good. I'm staying consistent.
That's sure. We'll go with that.
Yep, we'll go with
It's
that.
called recycling old content.
That two. It can be both.
Hey, that's profitable.
That's true. So photosynthesis. Why did you add it to our list?
Because it has fall colors and it kind of has a fall, and you told me to, and I don't have a whole lot of games on this list that you've actually played.
Oh, nice. So I'll talk about photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's I think up to 4-player game.
That sounds awful. Trying to play with 4 people on that game.
Oh, it is. I've done it.
Oh, it's
I
not
don't
bad. It's not bad.
Because when
It's like a whole nother level of strategy.
Yeah. So
I don't have the
and
time for that.
it's a very very strategic game in which you have to strategically place where you're growing your trees. And you know, the sun changes positions, which will change where your trees and how they grow. So it's strategic. It's a fun game overall. I like playing games with the intended amount of players, which I think in this case is 4.
That's fair.
So I prefer it that way personally. It does make it take a little bit longer, which in general I'm not a fan of because ADD things. But no, it's a fun game and it's kind of relaxing too. Because I don't think it was in our relaxing episode.
I don't think so. I think this was in our pretty games episode.
Yeah, it's got pretty art on it.
It is pretty.
It is really
Yeah, and
gorgeous.
then when it's all done, like when you're done playing and you have all the trees and stuff,
Yeah.
like on the board, you're like, oh, look at that!
That's pretty neat.
Look at us.
I played with a friend of mine and it was the first time she'd ever played through a few weeks ago, and I actually managed to coordinate everything so that right at the end I was able to chop down like all my trees in my last season on that one. Yeah, that board didn't look as pretty as some of them.
Yep. What the heck, Jackie?
I know, and I kind of destroyed her, and I felt really bad.
You need to you don't have to let them win, but make it close. You're gonna make people not want to play board games, Jackie, if you
I
just
know.
annihilate them.
And I tried to pull back a little bit, but I didn't want it to be obvious.
Did you tell her all the rules, Jackie?
I did actually. She actually did not have trouble
I'm
doing
good.
all the things.
I'm so proud.
I know.
I'm so proud of you.
She got it, and I did. I tried to hold back a little bit, but she kept making really bad decisions.
Oh, well, you can't control that.
Exactly. It was I'm actually actively trying to not play the most strategic move. And I'm still ahead of you by a lot, and I'm
Hey,
really sorry.
You know what? Practice makes perfect.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Yep.
Let's see. Next on our list.
Are we doing Like It and Salty and all that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Salty likes.
Yeah, Jackie.
Yeah, so Like It, I put this one at a 7 for me. It is a lot of fun. It is very strategic. The rules can be a bit much. One of its saving graces is that all of the little rules and things are actually on the board, player boards, so you can, once you kind of learn what they mean by the different symbols, it kind of makes more sense and you're able to follow on your board what you should be doing next. But it does have a little bit of a learning curve for new players to it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the rule book was not the easiest to follow along rule book of any of the games I played. So that was also that. Salt scale, I would actually rank this one as probably a 6 on the salt scale as well.
Whoa.
I know, because it is really easy for people to see where you are putting your trees, and then they put their trees close by so that they start to block you in so that you can't put your trees
I
anywhere.
think we're
So-
doing that thing again though, where the salt scale is drifting.
Drifting?
Yes, because the salt scale is intended to be about the mechanics of the game itself.
Well, yes, the mechanics
So things
allow
like-
you to be able to corner people and not allow them to plant
Because
trees.
it's just strategic. And they see your strat, Jackie, and they take it.
I know. It's kind of annoying when people do that, but also maybe you shouldn't have such a good strat.
Maybe you should get your own
That's
strat.
called metagaming.
Yeah.
But because I personally, for photosynthesis, I don't think there's any rules of the game that make it less fun.
That's fair.
Okay.
So when I think of saltiness, I think of things that are we're unable to control that make the game less fun to play. So card draw.
Right.
Like, I'm not drawing the card I need to progress in this game.
Right. No, that makes sense.
That makes it a salty game. But like in this case, yeah, other players can mess up my plan, but that's going to be any game you ever play with other people.
Right.
Fine. Okay.
That's not cooperative.
So with that, I mean, I still leave it as a 6 because it's the way you get points so that you can take turns can sometimes be salt-inducing, and also the fact that you have to pay sunshine points to get stuff off your board and then basically pay those points again to get it onto the main game board is annoying. Like, I understand that mathematically that's how it kind of works, but it annoys me still.
Yes, see, and I agree with that. I think that is a
Right.
saltiness thing as well.
Okay.
I'd forgotten about the little board on there. And
Yeah.
you have to only have certain things on there, and you have to pay to... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that can cause plenty of saltiness. Because then if you're like... You have a prime opportunity to do something, but you can't.
Yeah, that
And
feels
you're like,
bad.
oh, man, you know, it'd be really cool right now and really help my strategies if I could do this, because this player just did this, which changed my turn, and now I can't do any of that.
Yup. Don't have enough sun boys.
Yep. What about you, Alyssa?
Rating wise, 7 out of 10. It's fine. I like it. She cute. Saltiness, probably like a 3. I will say though, the trees make it tempting to knock the board over.
Yeah.
Just because it
That's
looks
your cat
satisfying.
instincts kicking in.
I guess. I don't
Perfect board
know.
flip game.
It does. It's like you just get to that point where it's like, you know, I know we might be like neck and neck. I could just like flip it
And we would never know.
and we would never know, and I would be incredibly satisfied by flipping that because it feels
That-
like it's got a lot of parts.
That is the saltiest thing I've ever heard.
I wasn't even mad though. It was just like a thought, just like
yeah, but the
like-
fact that you're like, well, this person could beat me.
they could.
So-
No, we neutral. We neutral. I'm never gonna flip a board, especially because we played at Pawn and Pint, right?
Oh,
We
yeah.
played Pawn and Pint's copy too, so I wasn't gonna flip it, but like
Okay.
part of me's like, if I just slid this off the table, it would be so satisfying. It would be such a mess. I love it. But yeah, salt, meh,
Meh.
meh. I can't get invested enough in that game to be angry.
Oh.
I might say something about my strats being stolen, but at the end of the day, I'm growing trees and using sunny boys to grow more trees. So hard to stay mad about it.
Faux shell. What's the next game?
Did you give us a rating? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know. Probably. It's like a 7 or 8.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sick.
Saltiness, 5.
Sorry, internet. I have an eyelash in my eye.
How dare you?
I know.
They're supposed to be above and below your eye.
I
Yep.
know. They're not supposed to go in, and I told them to stop it.
Return
Supposed to be
them.
around your eye.
I know. Ugh. Anyway, so through this watery eye, I am going to say Sorcerer
Oh, yes.
by White Wizard Games, and this is
never
back
played
to the
this
spooky
game.
game.
That's fine.
No, I'll make you play it later.
I
Okay.
don't believe you.
It's honestly one of my top 5 games of all time by White Wizard
what's going
Games. It was released in, I forgot to write that down, but I want to
Last
say 28 or
year.
2019, 2018 or 2019.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, yeah, it's a card game. Surprise, surprise, White Wizard Games came out with a card game.
I know, right?
guessed.
But you play as some sort of creepy wizard person, sorcerer,
And you're bringing about the end of the world.
and you're attempting to bring about the end of the world. So you have
Sounds
different
neat.
locations that you're trying to conquer.
That happened to all be in London.
Yes. There's an Egypt one too, isn't there?
An expansion, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, you're trying to unlock or destroy these locations with your monsters, and so your monsters fight each other because you want to be the one who destroys it.
Right, of course.
And then if you're playing with 2 players, once one person has gotten 2 of them, the
2 out
game's
of the
over.
3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3, and then you win.
Yep.
There's a lot of complex rules about who can fight what, when, where, and what cards can do. But the most fun part about the game for me is the characters and the different stuff you can do. Because basically, when you open the box and you decide you're going to play, you build your deck right there.
Oh,
And
neat.
So there's different. What is it? You pick your.
You pick your sorcerer, and then you pick, like, their domain, the location that sorcerer is from. and then you pick a lineage, and the lineage is actually kind of like their class, like the type of sorcerer they are.
Demonologist or the druid.
Yep.
Show enough.
There's a couple ones I remember off the top of my head.
Yep.
So yeah, it's I like that part of the game. It's fun to kind of mash things that you wouldn't normally put together. So like one guy's like a vampire, and then there's a demonologist thing. So like there's somewhere it's clear that like these things go together.
Right.
It looks like they go together thematically. They play together. And then there's other things where clearly no. There's why would you put these together? And I like to do that.
Fair enough.
Because, you can play it, and it's definitely the most meta to play the things that clearly go together. It's the easiest, but I do like to mix the lineages and the domains with the sorcerers, and it makes it very different play. It can make it very difficult, and like Ethan said, there can be combos that are just like, this is not working at all, and I've built a few of those.
Yeah, but it's a fun game overall. The reason it's on the list, I would say, is because it's very Halloween-y
Makes
in
sense.
its aesthetic.
It's the creepy side of autumn, where you're kind of, creeping through
Card games.
card games. Yeah.
Showing up.
Card games.
It's spoopy.
It's spoopy.
Yeah, it's got
Showing
some
up.
really kind of gruesome artwork for some of the creatures.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty metal. I like it.
I love it. And
Pentagrams.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
and the original game is for 2 to 4 players. However, I bought the extension to play with up to 6 people, which was the biggest waste of money I've ever done, because I will never play that game with 6 people, because it's a long game even with 2 people. And the thing about White Wizard games is they are excellent at making 2-player games. So all their games that I have played have been targeted towards a 2-player game. Like, a lot of them will say, oh, you can play with this for up to 4 people, but it really plays best as a 2-player. And Sorcerer is no exception. Really plays best as a 2-player. You can play it with up to 4 people. We've played it with 3 before, and that was the longest game ever. Like, we couldn't towards the end of it, I'm not gonna lie, we were all just like, just kill my guy, just kill all of my minions, just let me go to bed.
You're not selling me on this, Jackie. I'm gonna be real.
I will play it with you and only you, so that it's 2-player.
Play it
Okay.
2-player.
Yeah, play it 2-player.
Playing it 2-player is lit. Playing it more than 2-player is not lit.
Got it.
And it is for that reason that even though it's one of my top 5 games of all time, that I'm only giving it a 6 on the like it scale. Because
How it in your top 5, but it's 6 out of 10.
Jackie, you've probably given like 8 10s on this podcast.
I
throughout our
know,
career.
and I know this is one of my favorites, but I don't get to play it very often because it does just play so much better as a 2-player. So it's something that I can play with just you or just General Pillage. It's really hard to play it with a group of people. I can't get it out at a game night and be like, oh, let's play this game.
No,
It's the only thing we're
you
playing
get
that
it-
entire night.
You get it out at game day. You just play. It's like when you try to play. Is it Arkham Horror?
Yep, and that's on our list too.
That game too. It's talking about games that take too long. Yeah, no, just make it a day. You can do a little
Whole
light
day.
day drinking, make it a little bit more fun.
Start with some mimosas, ending with shots at the end of the night.
Yeah, when you guys are just like, heck the rules. We're gonna fist fight to figure out whose monster wins or
'Cause
something dumb.
That's how Smash we have to be to play Catan too. So
Yeah, I feel that.
That's what we end the night on.
Yeah, Catan. Somebody flipping the table
Exactly.
because there wasn't enough sheep.
Yeah, and that's brick. It's always brick.
Mine is always sheep
Really?
every time.
Oh, jeez.
I always
Anyway.
pick the wrong ones.
And the other reason I downgrade it is because it's oh my gosh, I've lost my train of thought again.
You're welcome.
Choo-choo.
Oh yeah, it's because of that. There is really, really bad combos. Like, it's made so that you can mix and match, and that's what they like to brag about and say, yeah, you can play this with any and it's still a good deck. And it's like, no, there are some combos in there that were not play tested properly.
So like it's like scary smash up. It's kind of what they're vibing with.
Yeah,
little bit.
A little bit.
Okay, that makes
That's
more
a
sense
good-
to my brain.
Scary smash up. I like that. Band name. Yeah, no, for sure. I think that the game itself has great principles overall. There are also some weird interactions that we've come across that we're not quite sure how to resolve a lot of the time.
Came up with an answer. I don't know if it's the right one.
Yeah, and so we kind of find ourselves having to do that. Like, well, I guess it would work this way.
In theory.
There's nothing in any rule book that says that, but we're
Right.
going to have to go with that because we don't want to sit here for 3 years Googling it.
Trying to find a forum where it's
Right.
happened like one time.
Exactly.
And there's been no replies.
Exactly.
And most of the time when that happens is my expansions, because White Wizard Games actually does a lot of expansions where they do like mini expansions. So it's like you literally buy this pack of cards and it's just like a lineage or just like a sorcerer. And because of that, you know, the rules were on this tiny bit of paper that I managed to lose. And so the rules for that specific sorcerer are now gone.
That's
and
annoying.
I can't get it online. I don't know why I can't get it online. You'd think that if it's on this tiny bit of paper, it would be on a PDF somewhere, but I was having trouble finding it. So, chat, if you see it, you can let me know where to find it. But anyway, so yeah, that is.
What's your salt?
Oh yeah, salt on that one. That was
Yes.
actually really high salt. That's like a 9 on the salt scale.
Hey.
Damn, why do you like this game?
I don't know, but I love it so much because I love pain, I guess.
Apparently.
It's so good.
I love this game because I hate myself.
Basically. So good.
Oh no.
But it's so high on the salt
Jackie
scale
went
because
emo.
it is so easy to get your minions wrecked. Like, you have them in there, they're fighting over this thing, and then all of a sudden somebody drops a giant thing. Or in my case, Ethan and I were playing it. I think Ethan ended up winning, but there was literally 2 rounds where I should have won and rolled bunk, because that's the thing, you roll these dice in order to actually deal damage, and my dice rolled horribly, and so I didn't do enough damage to him.
Yeah,
and
you're basically
twice I should have been able to beat him and didn't.
Yep, you're basically working with a game that has 3 upper levels of randomization.
That sounds like a
Your
game that would make me cry.
Right, your
out of
first
frustration.
level
Maybe
is
I
your
won't get to
deck,
play it.
you know, or what you're putting together as your deck. You have you get to pick, but you also have
Right.
slightly random because you also alternate pick order. So, like, I might
Right.
be the first to pick a sorcerer, but she's going to be first to pick a lineage. And so I might be
Yeah.
betting on that one lineage and not be able to get it. So there's
Yeah.
your first layer. Your second layer then is the cards you draw in the game and actually get to play. And then you have your third layer, which is the dice in combat, which just adds more and more random number generation.
Yeah, that
So-
sounds like it would make me cry in frustration.
Yeah, sad plate mail noises.
Yeah,
Sad
sad.
plate.
Yeah, sad plate mail noises.
The most accurate.
Yeah, so I would have to say, yeah, it can be pretty high on the saltiness scale for sure. I would honestly agree, maybe like a 9.
Oof.
But I think my score overall is, I think it is a solid 7 or 8 on the like it scale.
But at least it's like a good, like a likable game versus like a
Yeah.
game that just makes you angry. That's like unlikable.
Exactly.
Those
That's
are the
exactly
worst.
So,
Ugh.
you
For
know,
me,
if
I
you
love
get
it,
past the random numbers, then it's a fine game.
If nothing else, just blame the random numbers for your loss.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, be like, nope,
Works
that's
for
your
me.
fault, not mine. Wasn't my bad strategy. It was you.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
What's the next
Neat.
game?
All right. So, since we are hitting at about 50 minutes now, so we can kind of actually pick which one we want to talk about next, because I made a
Ooh.
huge list and I did not intend for
Chef's
us to
choice.
talk about all of them. But some options I have are Zombicide, Dead of Winter, Claustrophobia,
I haven't played that one.
Arkham Horror. I did put Root on this list, even though we never actually
Nope,
played it.
never played it. It's still in my trunk.
Still looks like an adorable
Under a
fall
tire.
game, just so you know. Spirits of the Wild.
I played that one.
I think so. It's a 2-player that I have from
Is that the
Matel.
Constellation one?
Yeah.
That game's lit.
Okay. And then the only other one was Nyctophobia.
Oh.
Nyctophobia and the Institute of the Magical Arts for the other 2 on my list.
I have no clue what those other games are. I'll be
Alright.
real.
So it sounds like we had interest in Spirits of the Wild.
Is there any of those that you were like,
I'd
Let's
have
get
to
it.
hear them again. Like, I was listening, but my brain doesn't work that way.
no, I feel you, dude.
So,
feel you.
Spirits of the Wild is good. I think the other one... Let me see that. Give me the list.
Gimme.
Give me the dang list. God, this list is huge.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have to come up with, like, extra games. And I was like,
yeah.
Jackie has all the games on here. Wasn't Red Dragon on there, too?
Yeah, Red Dragon's on
Red
there.
We can talk about Red Dragon.
I feel like that one was a stretch, though. Like, as far as my fall themed games, because
Well-
that one to me felt like a me thing, where it's like I associate fall with sitting by an open fire, and I love the idea of like
And
a
tipping
fireplace
wenches?
in a tavern, and reminiscing about the great adventures you had over summer.
But aren't some of them kind of spoopy? Like that rabbit?
Rabbit.
No, you know who I'm talking, though. About
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's the voodoo,
know.
the voodoo chick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
think there is a version where it is actually like monsters, Red Dragon and monsters.
Oh, and
Speaking
then
of
the
which-
pirate one I think has krakens and crap in it.
Oh.
I have the pirate one. I should remember. I'm pretty sure that there's like a mechanic for like sea monsters and stuff if I remember right. I don't
Well,
know.
did not play that
That's fair.
pirate one. General Pillage also has the pirate one. So,
Yep.
but yeah. So did we want to talk about like which one did we want to talk about?
We can't. I've decided we cannot talk about Dead of Winter because it's a winter game.
But you're running away from zombies, which is a Halloween
That's
thing.
why we have Zombicide.
Was
Yeah.
Zombicide the one where you had the tiles and you ran through the hospital?
No, I
Okay, I
couldn't find the
haven't.
name of that one.
I haven't played that Zombicide then either.
No, I don't know if I still have it. I tried to sell it several times.
I thought that
I have
was-
Zombicide, the
you
Green
have, like,
Horde.
hordes of zombies that come after you and stuff.
And then like as you go forward through the game, there's like tiles. We played it at NewCon.
Okay,
Yeah.
then no, that wasn't
Yeah.
Zombicide.
Okay, I haven't played that game then.
No.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
thought
played Dead
everyone-
of Winter. We played that one at NewCon.
Yeah.
I hated it.
I thought.
You did. I
thought
felt so
everyone-
bad.
I thought everyone on the planet played
No,
Zombicide at least once.
no.
It's an okay game. Like, I like it, but it's not my type of game. So,
That's how I feel about Dead of Winter.
Okay, we get it.
I hate it.
You didn't like Dead of Winter.
Actually, it was a good game for what it was.
Yeah.
So
I actually love Dead of Winter and went and bought the pirate version. I have that.
that
now,
sounds like it
which
could
is
be lit.
What's that?
Yep.
That's the
Forgotten Waters.
Forgotten Waters.
I got Forgotten Waters, which is the newest of the Plaid Hat games.
I'd play that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I still haven't broken it out yet.
Well, you
Because
should
I need-
break it.
Well, I need General Pillage to teach me the rules.
Oh yeah. Get on that.
Yeah, come on, General Pillage, get your shit together.
Get on it.
God, he's just living his life.
I know. But
Yeah, we can't have that.
I don't like that.
Just gotta live our life.
You gotta live your life for you.
Yep.
Fair enough.
But I felt like the Institute for the Magical Arts I had more pull for than Red Dragon Inn because that one's about a school, and school starts in the fall.
Fair.
Anyway, but I
Do
think
they have
me and
online
Ethan-
classes?
That's a good question. I'm not sure now.
Can magical people get COVID?
Probably. They probably have magic COVID, which might be worse.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Right.
It's
I
like
think
space
they call
herpes.
them curses. Curses.
Oh,
And
Can you have
curse,
cursed
right.
pandemics? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Sounds
probably.
awful.
Everybody get it. Get your tail.
I had joked that we should put pandemic on this list and be like, a scary game of a thing that could never happen.
Well, whoop, there it is.
Whoop. There it is. Well,
You're welcome.
Okay.
let's see. Do we have any other games we wanted to touch on?
Alyssa seemed kind of interested in Spirits of the Wild.
The game's
Yes,
lit.
Let's talk about
It's
that.
pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a 2-player game from Matel. That one came out in 2018, actually. And it's very cute, very pretty, very easy to teach. It's actually a stone-taking game.
Mm-hmm.
So you are trying to take stones of different colors and apply them to different constellations in order to free those spirits.
Get them points.
Yep, and you get the points. And honestly, that's like it. That's the basis of the rules for the most part. You place the stones in the right places. You put a stone on the spirit animal in order to get double points for that specific area. And you just take turns doing that. There's some cards. You use the cards to do your actions, or there's big cards in the middle that kind of give you like a special bonus thing that you can do on that turn when you're ready to activate that.
Yeah, no, that's really it. There's not much to that game, which is I kind of like.
Yeah, I actually
Very vibey.
have started kind of migrating more towards games that are easy to teach.
Bless.
Because
I'm saved. Hallelujah. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. It's just hard for me to remember things. Just why I lose so much.
you don't lose that much, though. You're convinced you lose that much. You really don't.
I lose every time I play with General Pillage.
Okay,
That
everybody.
doesn't count. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It does. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so General Pillage is going to win, and then the rest of us will play.
No, that's fair. No, that's... Yeah, no, I forget mechanics a lot, so I appreciate that. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this thing that probably could have won me 2 turns. Oops. Here you go.
Whoopsies.
But
I think did I play Spirits of the Wild? I think so.
you definitely did.
Yeah.
I made you play that one because it's a 2-player.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's super quick, too, if I remember, because we played it in a pretty short amount of time.
It's like a 15-minute game. It's a really good between bigger games.
Yeah.
Like a right before bed type of game.
Waiting for dinner kind of game.
Exactly.
Vibing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good game.
It would be a good travel game if it wasn't that you could lose
Little
stones.
bits, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
the stones roll under stuff, and it's like, well, now we have one less pink stone.
You pulled the stones at random, too, right? Like, out of a bag. I remember that, right?
Yep.
Okay, sick. I do remember that.
Yep.
I think that's the only thing that can make that game make me salty. It's just not pulling the colors I need.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the only thing that made me salty was that.
That is fair.
But there's not really any mechanics to, like, make you angry. It's a quality
Angy.
game. Yeah, no Angie.
Angie reacts only.
Yeah. So yeah, I give this game on the like it scale. I'm gonna say a 7. Like, it's really solid. It's gorgeous, very simplistic, and that's funny because it's a 7 because it's simplistic, but also like I kind of downgraded it a little bit for its simplicity because like it's so
What?
simple. I know. What I should say there is it's
Jackie's got this big brain, galaxy brain thing going on.
Yeah, I
except for I'm
can't.
not even good at it. Like, I love my absolute favorite type of games are brain burners. Like, I love Euro games. I am a hardcore Euro gamer. Nobody else wants to play Euro games. In fact, like,
So sorry. I couldn't help myself. He was just so cute. I'm so sorry.
just so you know, for those who can't see it, our dog sometimes runs around in front of here where you can't see very well, and they are playing with the dog.
She was so
Weird.
hype.
She was like, I'm chasing my tail. Are you chasing my tail?
Dog was tripping herself out.
And then she went and laid down on my blanket.
And now she's leaving us. Goodbye, Aphrodite.
Oh, bye.
I'll remember you. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. Jackie's a hardcore Eurogamer.
I am a hardcore Euro gamer. I want to play this. In fact, one of my absolute favorite games of all time is Founders of Gloomhaven. This game is like a 4-hour minimum. It has an entire
No.
economy and trickle-down economics that happens in this game.
Nope.
I love it.
Quit.
I'm never
Even
playing that game.
General Pillage doesn't like to play that game with me. In fact, I've got 2 games that most people don't want to play with me that are really high on my list of games I like. I also really like Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea by Gamelin Games.
never
That
played that
one's
game.
simpler
okay.
rules, but it's huge and it's also a really long time. It takes like 3 to 4 hours. to
No.
play. And so on my birthday, I always get to pick a game, and whoever's around for my birthday has to play whatever game I pick. And
You
this year
played
I picked
Heroes
Heroes of
of
Land, Air, and Sea.
Land, Air, and Sea, which was rigged.
I won.
It was rigged.
It was so cool. But that's the thing, is like I managed to win Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, and I think it's because that one has so many different ways to victory, whereas there's really only 2 ways to victory in Founders of Gloomhaven, but I've never beat General Pillage at that game. And he's the only one who will play it with me. And so, like, I'm not even good at Euro games. It's just my favorite.
Yike.
I don't get that. I'm just too simple.
Yeah.
You're not
we got,
simple
we got
folk.
those smooth brains.
Yeah, I got
Guys
that
are
cute,
not
smooth
too
brain.
simple. You guys,
Wrinkles are ugly. Got that cute, smooth brain. I'm a simple folk, Jackie.
that's not true at all. In fact, I regularly steal your strat.
I know, and it makes me angry. Legitimately angry. steal my strat. Don't steal my strats. Overall, I don't like it. I'm trying to be big brain, and it's hard.
It's a compliment.
It takes a lot of work. Like I said, I got this smooth brain. It's hard.
It's not. Oh gosh. Anyway, on the saltiness scale, I give this like a 0. I don't know why you would get salty. I mean, I guess maybe 1 if you get really salty about never getting the color of rock stones you need.
That's literally the only thing I could see getting mad about.
I was like, because it's
only
random.
got mad when Jackie was flinging the rocks at me.
I never flung the rocks at you. Stop lying to the people.
She got mad when I flung the rocks at her.
That sounds more accurate, but also didn't happen.
Always ruining my fun.
That's me.
But yeah, I would say I'd give it like a 7 probably. It's simple, calming game. And then like a 1 or 2 on the saltiness scale.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
That game aesthetic as heck.
It
Yeah, that game's aesthetic as heck, and I love it. Also, it's just a good game. Saltiness scale, I'm gonna make it a 1. Cause
1.
don't make me salty, because it's just too cute.
Yeah.
Boop.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's what we've got
That-
for games.
That'll do her.
That'll
Yeah,
do
wowee.
her.
Solid hour of quote unquote content.
Yeah, as mentioned, some honorable mentions here would be Root, Arkham Horror, which honestly would be a great Halloween game.
Very
Don't play that
Halloween.
game if you want to do anything on Halloween.
Yeah.
That's all you do on Halloween is Arkham
Yup.
Horror. That's
Unless you
it.
lose right away.
Hey, I've played Arkham Horror for 20 minutes because we lost immediately.
Yep.
I've heard that. I actually met
Yep.
a guy who legit thought that Arkham Horror never lasted more than like 45 minutes because that's the longest he'd ever played because
Yep.
every time they got it out, they would get the bad guy immediately. And he's like, what do you mean it's 4 hours? And I was like, he's like, I've never played more than 40
Jeez.
minutes. And I was like, what do you mean you've never played more than 40 minutes? I've been trapped in games of
Unreal.
Arkham Horror. What are you talking about?
I feel like you need a job to play that game. like they need to pay you. Like I need an hourly wage to play that game. I got
funny.
errands.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Any other honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions: Arboretum, Claustrophobia, which is another 2-player game, Nyctophobia, which is actually one where you are blindfolded and you use your hands to go around the game board.
Nope.
And the Institute of the Magical Arts, Dead of Winter, Monster Slaughter, and Zombicide.
Monster Slaughter?
Monster Slaughter. I know of it. I've never gotten to play it. It's one of the ones we took with us to NukeCon and didn't get to. You play as a family of monsters attacking a bunch of teenagers that are hiding out in a cabin.
Oh, I remember wanting to play that.
Yeah.
That sounds lit.
A very
I'm probably gonna buy that.
thematic game, so it has a pretty steep learning curve. But we never got around to it because we were always so
Bummer.
like brain dead after the con.
We'll have to break that out.
Yeah, that sounds lit.
Well, it's Ryan's game, so we'll need to ask to borrow it again because
okay.
I don't own it.
That's fine.
Jeez.
Yeah,
All right.
It's a huge box too. Just like anyway.
NukeCon was when was that?
Last
October of last year.
Dang.
It's been almost a year.
Dang.
Right.
No.
All right. Well,
Feels bad, man.
we should probably wrap it up because it's been just over an hour.
Yep. Project Nerd would like to remind you to vote.
Vote.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Do
Don't
it.
forget. Polls are opening up.
Do it.
I think it's too late
And-
for absentee
Well, it
ballots
depends
and
what
things like
state
that.
you live in, but
Yeah, same
But
with
you can
mail
check that out.
yeah, early voting, absentee voting, vote. I don't care, just vote.
Yep.
No, don't give me any excuses, okay?
Also,
For
just
all the
do
women
it.
out there, I always give this spiel. Like, there were literally women who tied themselves to polling booths and starved themselves to death to get us the right to vote. So, women, you need to vote to honor those who literally died in order to get us that right.
Also, if you mail and vote, make sure you read your state's laws, because some of them require notarizing. Just a heads up. State of Missouri requires that.
Dang.
Yep. But it's too late for us to mail in, so, you know.
Done. All right.
Hey.
As always, you can follow us on Twitter at MeepleSkillsPod, on Instagram at MeepleSkills. No.
I don't have an Instagram anymore. It's the Lucky Halfling.
Oh, that's right. You destroyed the Instagram and made it your own again.
Yeah, it confused me when I went to go look for stuff, and I said,
Okay.
hello?
Okay, never mind. You can follow us on Twitter at MeepleSkillsPod and Facebook, technically. MeepleSkills, all one word, because it wouldn't let us do it otherwise.
It won't even let me capitalize the first letter of Meeple.
Don't question.
Dumb. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/nerdmeat with an underscore, Twitter @nerdmeat, Instagram @nerdmeat, Facebook nerdmeat gaming, Snapchat nerdmeat. Don't Snapchat me. Jackie, where can people find you on the internet?
I am the Lucky Halfling on Twitch, the Lucky Halfling on Instagram, and Lucky Halfling on Twitter.
Alyssa, how about you?
Huh? Me? For me, it's
On the
Instagram.
internet.
It's Minty Fresh Gaming. On Twitter, it's gaming_Minty Fresh. I can look at it. Yeah, gaming_Minty. I'm not on Twitch. Maybe that'll happen. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
What will happen next?
Right.
But also, you should like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for Project Nerd. We've got some cool
for the
stuff.
YouTubes.
Yeah, for the YouTubes, because we are going to be doing a series of short videos that focus on just one game, and those will be released on YouTube at the frequency. We're still discussing that, but it will be on the YouTubes, and it should start the first week of November.
On them tube views.
Yep. So, but
All right.
definitely like, subscribe, join us here on Project Nerd. We'll be doing this every once in a while. Project Nerd's got some cool stuff in the works, so there's channel should be getting more active.
Neat.
very soon.
Yep.
That's neat.
All right. I'm going to go shut off the stream.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye.
All right. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Maybe.